All right, so you want to talk Fallout, huh? Well, more specifically, the future of the Fallout franchise. I see you've brought us a whole bunch of YouTube videos breaking down every angle.
Seems like you're pretty invested in the series. I can't say I blame you. It's a good time to be a Fallout fan with that new TV show making waves.
Definitely.
hmm
And I bet you're especially curious about when we'll finally see Fallout 5, considering how long it's been.
Let's just say you're going to need to pack a lot of patience based on what these videos are saying. It's looking like the 2030s at the very earliest.
The 2030s? Wow. Yeah, this is going to be a long wait.
Bethesda's known for taking their time with development, and considering they've got Elder Scrolls 6 to release before Fallout 5, well,
In one video, November Hotel even mentioned that Fallout 5 was in super early pre-production back in 2021. So
yeah,
we're in for a long one.
definitely a long one. But hey, at least we can speculate on what Fallout 5 might be like, right?
Exactly. These YouTubers had some pretty interesting ideas. One creator, Happy Go Sunday, even made a whole wish list video.
Oh yeah, Happy Go Sunday. Always come in with the hot takes. What's on their wish list this time?
Well, one of the big ones is ditching the voiced protagonist.
Interesting. What's their reasoning there?
They think it limits role-playing. Instead of being able to imagine your own character's voice and personality, you're stuck with whatever Bethesda gives you.
Makes sense. I guess I can see how that would take you out of the role-playing aspect a bit.
Right. They also talk about wanting more weapon and armor customization, too, building on what Fallout 4 already had.
Now, that's something I think every Fallout fan can get behind. I mean, who doesn't love tinkering with their gear in the wasteland?
Oh, and get this, Happy Go Sunday even suggests tying character appearance to actual gameplay. Like, imagine your height affecting your stealth, or having a black eye that gives you bonus unarmed damage.
Ooh, now that's an interesting idea. Definitely make character creation more meaningful.
For sure. Speaking of meaningful, we got to talk about the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
The creation engine.
Ah, yes. The good old creation engine powering both Fallout 4 and 76. I think we all know its limitations at this point.
Happy Go Sunday and another YouTuber, Colt Eastwood, both brought up how the engine's really showing its age these days. Fallout 4 and 76, they don't look bad or anything, but compared to other AAA games graphically and performance-wise, well...
It's not exactly cutting-edge tech. And then there's Bethesda's infamous bug situation.
Oh yeah, Happy Go Sunday had a pretty funny way of putting it.
Oh, what was it again?
They said using the creation engine is like playing a game made by a coked-up Helen Keller.
Oof. All right, well, maybe a bit harsh, but I get the point. A new engine would definitely do wonders for Fallout 5.
Yeah, but that would be a huge undertaking for Bethesda.
No doubt. But considering how ambitious their games are, they might have to bite the bullet sooner or later.
All right, so let's shift gears a bit and talk about the whole multiplayer thing. That was a pretty controversial aspect of Fallout 76.
Definitely Happy Go Sunday made it very clear they do not want multiplayer in Fallout 5. They think it would totally ruin the single-player experience.
I mean, I get where they're coming from, but wouldn't it be cool to explore the wasteland with a friend?
I mean, there's co-op and then there's full-blown multiplayer.
True. Happy Go Sunday did suggest a Far Cry-style co-op system as a compromise.
That could work.
Yeah.
You could team up with a buddy without it completely changing how the game plays.
Yeah, I think that's a good middle ground. Okay, so before we get into the next topic, I gotta ask you something. Why don't they make a Fallout game where everyone uses spoons as weapons?
I don't know why.
Because it'd be the Supreme Edition. Get it?
All right, let's move on. Now, it's not all about looking forward, though, right? Some of these YouTubers spent a good chunk of time looking back at a specific game, Fallout New Vegas.
Oh yeah, New Vegas. Seems like that one really struck a chord with the Fallout community.
Definitely, Colt Eastwood and Deni go pretty in-depth on its legacy. You know how even with limited time and resources, Obsidian still managed to create something truly special?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how much they were able to accomplish. Like the writing, the factions, all those tough moral choices. It felt like every decision actually mattered.
And don't forget the replayability. You could play through New Vegas multiple times and have a completely different experience each time, depending on your choices.
Exactly. And speaking of Obsidian, they've been pretty vocal about wanting to make a sequel.
Oh, yeah. Deni even said they're basically begging Bethesda at this point. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Bethesda took them up on it.
Especially after the success of The Outer Worlds, Obsidian's clearly still got what it takes to make a killer RPG.
No doubt about that. And hey, maybe while we're waiting for a potential sequel, we could check out that fan-made remake.
You mean the Fallout 4 New Vegas mod?
That's the one.
Yeah.
It's pretty mind-blowing what these modders are doing, recreating the entire New Vegas experience within the Fallout 4 engine. It's a huge undertaking.
I've seen some gameplay footage. It's seriously impressive. They're not just porting the map over, they're rebuilding everything from scratch, quests, dialogue, even the voice acting.
Talk about dedication. That really shows you the power of a passionate fan community.
For sure. And it makes you wonder, would Bethesda ever consider doing an official remake themselves?
Mhm.
You know, with that leaked document from the Microsoft Activision Blizzard trial mentioning a possible Fallout 3 remake?
Ah, yes, the Fallout 3 remake rumors, November Hotel, and Deny both touched on that. It definitely got people talking.
Can you imagine playing Fallout 3 or New Vegas with modern graphics and updated gameplay?
Oh, man, that would be amazing. Especially if they could smooth out some of those janky bits from the originals.
Right. Like keep the core experience intact, but maybe add some quality of life improvements to make it more accessible to newer players.
It's a tricky balance for sure. You don't want to mess with what made those games so beloved in the first place. But at the same time, some modernization wouldn't hurt.
Exactly. And hey, maybe Bethesda could even bring in some of those talented modders to help out with the remakes.
Now that's a collaboration I'd love to see. So you've got potential sequels, remakes, and some YouTubers even think Bethesda should let another studio handle a spin-off while they're busy with Elder Scrolls 6 and Fallout 5.
Makes sense.
Hmm.
It worked with New Vegas, right? So why not try it again?
Colt Eastwood even threw out some cool ideas for potential settings, like Texas or Louisiana, or maybe even a return to the Mojave Wasteland.
The possibilities are endless. But let's not forget about the biggest factor in all of this.
Yeah, Microsoft now they own Bethesda, so they've got a pretty big say in what happens to Fallout.
Exactly. And that's the big wild card here, isn't it?
Hmm.
Nobody knows for sure what Microsoft's plans are for the franchise.
Some people think they might push for faster releases, Maybe try to turn Fallout into a more frequent thing.
Right. Try to capitalize on that games as a service model, like they do with Halo and Forza.
But would that even work for Fallout? I mean,
Right.
part of what makes it special is that feeling of being a lone wanderer in a desolate world.
Yep.
Taking your time exploring and making choices that actually matter. That's a good point. I'm not sure how well a constantly updated, always online Fallout would go over with the core fan base.
Yeah, it's all about finding that balance, right? Appealing to a wider audience without alienating the folks who made Fallout what it is today.
Exactly. And who knows? Maybe Microsoft will throw us a curveball like they did with Starfield.
True. That came out of nowhere. I mean, nobody was expecting Bethesda to make a full-blown space exploration RPG.
And it turned out pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So, hey, maybe Microsoft will encourage Bethesda to try something completely different with Fallout.
Like what, a Fallout strategy game? Or maybe a Fallout MMO with a huge, persistent world?
Ooh. Or what if they went the action-adventure route? Something like Red Dead Redemption 2, but set in the Fallout universe.
Now, that would be something. But even if they stick with the traditional RPG formula, there's still so much they can do with Fallout 5.
Totally. New factions, companions, weapons, stories. The possibilities are endless.
Plus, they could really double down on player choice. Make it so that your decisions have even bigger consequences than in previous games.
Yeah, imagine a Fallout game where you could actually shape the fate of entire settlements, or even influence the outcome of wars between factions.
Man, that would be incredible. It's pretty clear that people are passionate about Fallout.
Yeah.
All these YouTubers we've been talking about, they're just the tip of the iceberg.
Right. The Fallout community is massive, and they're always coming up with new ideas and theories.
It's kind of inspiring, actually. Reminds me of those wasteland settlers, rebuilding society one scrap at a time.
They're not just waiting for the future of Fallout, they're actively shaping it.
That's a good way to put it. So as we wrap things up here, I think it's safe to say that the future of Fallout is looking pretty bright.
It might be a long wait for Fallout 5, but in the meantime, there's plenty to keep us occupied.
Exactly. We've got Fallout 76 still going strong. Plus, there's always the possibility of remakes, spin-offs, and who knows what else.
The Wasteland's a big place. There's always something new to discover.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
So to all you Fallout fans out there, keep those Pip-Boys charged and stay tuned.
The future of Fallout may be uncertain, but it's definitely going to be exciting.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the Fallout universe. We'll catch you next time for another adventure in knowledge.